What's up, it's Andy. I'm gonna talk about lean body mass and why it's critical to know this to achieve your body transformation goals. All right, I'm gonna talk about what it is, why it's important, how to calculate it, and then how to integrate it into your macro plan. All right, so right away, what is lean body mass? It's basically what you weigh minus your fat. All right, so your fat's distributed all over your body in different places, right? And so this calculation is basically what your bones weigh, your organs weigh, your muscles weigh. And I know this is not like a Halloween special, but that's what it sounds like, okay? So that's what we need to calculate. And the reason it's important is because we need to know how much protein to eat per day, okay? That's why it's important to know this figure, because we want to base our protein intake per day on your lean mass, okay? Not what you weigh on the scale, because you don't want to feed your fat, okay? We want to get the fat off your body, all right? So that's why we need to know our lean body mass, all right? So how do we calculate this, all right? We calculate it with none other than the body fat calipers I'm linking to in the description, all right? The calipers are a great tool because you can do it at home and they cost like 12 bucks. And so you're gonna be exact with your measurements, all right? Rather than just guessing, okay? Because in the past, I'm guilty of just looking at images online and saying like, that guy's 5%, that guy's 10, that guy's 15, that guy's 20, and then picking out your body type. The problem with that is your brain can play tricks on you and you can just guess weight incorrectly. When you have the calipers, you'll know exactly, all right, what you weigh or what your body fat percentage is, okay? Another reason too is that your body, everyone's different, and your body will store fat in different places according to your DNA. So some people hold a lot of fat in their arms and back, and some people hold it in their thighs, right? And that's not up to you to decide that, okay? So having calipers is a way to measure all of the points across your body if you do a 7-site reading, which the instructions are in the packaging for this, so you can get as accurate as possible. Now there's other ways to measure your body fat too. One of them is a hydrostatic tank, and another one is a DEXA scan, right? I felt like I was drowning in the hydrostatic tank. I think I mentioned that in another video. But I've got a buddy at the gym and he's a bodybuilder, right? And so he told me he did a DEXA scan reading and he got a 5.4%, right? And I was like, dang, that's excellent. That really is good. And then I asked, well, what did the body calipers say your body fat was? And he said, they said 5. So between 5 and 5.4%, that's pretty darn good for something that costs a few bucks online, right? And doesn't take you off on a rabbit hole of hunting for how to get a DEXA scan, okay? So once you know your body fat percentage, then there's a calculator that I'm gonna link to. And if these links die in the future, you just gotta do a search for a lean body mass calculator, right? So that'll come up with the figure, right, of what your lean body mass is, all right? So just to throw out some examples to go through a real world scenario here. Last fall, I weighed 177 pounds when I was like bulking, okay? All right, so I've got some tips on that later. Right now, today I weigh 162. And after I did the readings of my body fat, I'm at about 8%. So after doing the calculations, my lean mass is 150. So as you can see, if you need to calculate your protein intake based on a figure, we're talking 150 pounds compared to 177 pounds just for me. And that's 27 pounds of difference there. And so if at a 1-to-1 protein to pounds, that's 27 grams of protein per day that it's off by, okay? And I'm a lean guy too, at 8% body fat. So if your body fat is higher than that, that figure can even be higher than that, right? So that's why it's really important to have the lean body mass so that you can calculate your daily protein correctly. All right, you with me? Good, you guys are smart. I know you guys are with me, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Good, so wow, as you can see, that's why it's critical to know that. And that's what threw me off in this last year, because around March, I was like, man, I am not losing any body fat now after coming down. And the reason was because of this. It's because I was calculating my protein intake on the incorrect figure, right? So that is why this is critical to know that, okay? So let's talk now about how to integrate this into your macro tracker app, okay? So when you launch your app, right, it's gonna try to walk you through like all these like secret formulas and algorithms. How much do you work out? Are you generally active, right? That stuff's not gonna cut it for your body transformation goals, all right? That might work if you're just trying to like lose weight and shrink, but for you to be able to thread the needle and have the adequate protein per day and then come in under your calorie budget, it's gonna take some accuracy here, and that's why you're gonna need to know these numbers, okay? So to keep it as simple as possible, when you have your macro tracker app, you wanna calculate your BMR, that's your basal metabolic rate. I'll add a calculator down here too. And you'll know that number because you'll also know your body fat percentage, okay? And that's your daily calories, boom. And then you're gonna have to manually understand that you're gonna need to eat 1-to-1 of your lean mass in protein, okay? All right, good. So what I do every day is I weigh 162 pounds. My lean mass is 150. And so I eat as close as I can get to 150 grams of protein per day. And then I have to eat my BMR, under my BMR, which is about 1,800 calories. Okay, so I come in under that. And when I come in under that, I lose fat every day. And when I eat enough protein, I keep the muscle on my body. All right, good. So I hope that helps explain why it's important to know that number so you're not off by a lot. Because if you are off by more than 27 grams of protein a day, you're gonna be adding a lot of calories, and that's gonna blow your macro tracking app to smithereens, all right? It's gonna be really hard to get under 500 to 1,000 if you're eating over budget a lot. One of the reasons is because protein, it's hard to find lean protein unless you're eating just chicken breast or another very few select amount types of lean protein, okay? The other thing too is if you're eating too far below your deficit, you won't have any energy for the gym. And then you're also not gonna be able to retain that muscle. All right, got it all? Good. And good for you for sticking with me to the end here. For you eagle-eyed viewers out there that made it to the end of this one, you will have noticed that that cut right there was the only cut I've had in my short form videos, except for my one compilation video. So that's because my camera died in the heat here. So anyways, thanks for sticking with me, and I can't wait to see what's in store for all of us, all right? So let's go.